Plants are supposed to grow if you treat them right. Repotting your plant is crucial, and if you do that wrong, it can wreak havoc on a perfectly healthy plant. So here are some pointers from Sara Antin of GardenStyle.
Today we are going to learn how to transplant a tropical plant. So how do you know when to transplant your plant? One is you see roots coming up from the top of the plant. That's a sure sign that your plant needs to get transplanted. So how big of a pot can you use? What you do is you go just one pot size bigger, which is about 20% larger than the pot that you have the plant in now. So next you need to be sure that the plant height is the same in your new pot. So what we're going to do is we're going to add soil to this pot so that it keeps the plant at the same height. And so that the soil doesn't just drain through the pot when you water it, I like to use a stone because it's rounded, it's not flat. When I put it in my pot, I know that the water is going to be able to continue to drain. And let's talk about soil for a moment. Use a mix that is meant to be a potting mix. Don't use topsoil. Use something that tells you on the bag that it is a professional potting mix. Use something that tells you that it's ideal for pots, planters, that kind of thing, because this is going to have a good blend of your topsoil, your perlite, and your sphagnum moss. So it's going to be a nice airy mix for those roots to grow, spread, and get their oxygen, which is much needed for plant growth. So now it's time to transplant our plant. So if it's in a big pot and it's hard to pull out, just pound your pot a couple of times. That really helps. This little guy is just gonna come right out. Okay, see my roots are bound up in here? Let's loosen these up so that they can reach into the new potting soil. I can see I need to put an inch in my pot to get that plant to stand at the place I want it. So I'm gonna put that inch of soil in there and I'm gonna tap it down nice and firm. You don't want air pockets in your pot because the roots could get in that air pocket, just be in the exposed air and not be able to absorb the nutrients that they need. So now we need to get the soil around the edges. I like to use a plastic cup because, well, I can throw it away when I'm done, and I can get a nice narrow spout on there. So I start in one place. There are all these fabulous tools, but what I like, this is my favorite. This is my designated garden wooden spoon because I can push that soil in there just like it needs to be, and I feel really good that there's no air holes in there. Okay. So now firmly press your soil into the pot. The next step is to spray your plant with 1 cup water mixed with 1 teaspoon vegetable oil and 1 teaspoon specifically Dawn dish soap. Dawn is a natural insecticidal spray, so it's going to get rid of the insects on the plant. The oil keeps this liquid sticking to the leaves. So after you have sprayed your plant, water the plant thoroughly and see that the water comes through the drain, okay? For a professional look, if you take a little bit of moss, the difference in how it looks to me is amazing. So there we have our transplanted Dracaena.
Oh, that moss did add a really nice touch.